What's good, people? Today we're doing another CTF as always, but I'm tired of Pico CTF to be honest. It's just same thing all the time, and a lot of apps nowadays they all function through the cloud. So I found this new CTF platform, Flaws, which focuses on AWS vulnerabilities, which is really relevant to nowadays. It's interesting, so we're gonna do the first one today. Let's get right into it.
Let's have a look. Through a series of levels, you learn about common mistakes and glitches when using Amazon Web Services. There are no SQL injection, XSS, buffer overflows, or many of the other vulnerabilities you might have seen before. These are going to be AWS specific issues. Let's go. Level 1. This level is buckets of fun. See if you can find the first subdomain. So, buckets, S3 buckets in AWS, are just a way of storing unstructured data. Many times you can just host static websites through a bucket. That's a very good use case. Mm, I need to find the first subdomain. Let's see. Flows.cloud. Hmm. So I need to find slash something, no? Doesn't exist. Bucket, maybe? Nope. How could I find the bucket itself? It says key, bucket. Oh yeah, because each thing in a bucket folder I think is a key. So yeah, so each folder is a key. We need to find the ones which are available. This doesn't give us more info, so mm, we know that it's a bucket, but what exactly could it be? So we know that there can be public buckets, and that's when you can access them. Maybe if we check the website, what can we find? Find something giving us the bucket itself. Not here. That's strange. So we basically need to guess the name. You're not going to find anything. Oh, okay. Ooh, what do you mean nothing is going to be helpful? We need to still find a subdomain, right? So how can we access an S3 bucket? I'm not going to check the hint, but how can we access an S3 bucket just like that, right? I might need to use the AWS command line interface because I know you can do stuff with that. But I still don't know the name, so but I can check the buckets in a subdomain, I think. Because here it says run out of a single AWS account. Okay. Subdomains. What if it's just level 1 or something? Dope. How do we find the keys, right? Okay, let's see. What's going on here? List the names of 3 buckets. Keys. Yeah, how do I list them? knowing only the domain. The goal is to not use AI, but if I don't know something, then I have to learn about it. Theoretical mechanisms, yeah, that's enough. DNS and CNAME analysis. They map them to S3 buckets to serve static assets, yep, as I mentioned before. And if it's configured for this, a DNS check on that subdomain will often reveal a CNAME record pointing to s3.amazonaws.com. Okay. Bucket names are tied to URLs. List of potential bucket names. Okay. I see. Example prod, backup example, example assets. So these are all potential names for the bucket. It's always the name of the domain dash something. And then we do get request to this .s3.amazonaws.com to see the status. 404 doesn't exist. 403 forbidden. 200 okay, which is what we want. Okay, and then bucket exists and is publicly accessible. A list of its contents. But a get request is exactly what we do when we go on a website, right? To s3.amazonaws.com. Is that how it is? Like this. Access denied. Flows. What if I do flows assets? I can try with different ones. Flows dev, prod, example. These are all no such bucket. Okay, so now it actually says no such bucket. But if I do flows example, it also doesn't exist. It also doesn't exist. But if I do what I did initially, which was just flows, it says access denied. So the bucket does not seem to be public. They're tied to URLs. But what could be the dash? Because the main one is blocked, but maybe a specific bucket isn't blocked. Right now we're getting this 403 forbidden. Sometimes they're leaked. But here in our challenge, we already saw that it says, I go on flows.cloud. Let me just, flows.cloud. We see that if we inspect, boom. We need to find the first subdomain, but there's nothing here. It says in the HTML code we're not going to find anything. Maybe it's called buckets. Maybe it's flows buckets. No. It's not flows buckets. We know that this is a bucket, but it doesn't work. Issues SSL TLS certificate for subdomain tied to a bucket. That domain appears in public CT logs. How's AWS CTF? Oh, it's here. There's some guys doing it, but I'll do it better because I'm gonna figure this out. 13 minutes. I don't care. I don't want to go here because I feel like this is, yeah, this is a write-up. I'm not gonna just do the walkthrough. No. That's not what we want. Certificate transparency might be it because we saw that there's a bucket. I can't really guess the name, but I know that if I do this, it's denied, which is what we want. It's just flaws. I don't think there will be guessing name because what's the point if they're not gonna tell us the name anywhere? Although maybe subdomain appears in public CT logs. That sounds potential. Block public access, strict IAM and bucket policies. That's a typical thing. You want to have make it private and then only allow the minimum things. Principle of least privilege. That's what you want to do. Only grant the permissions which are needed for the specific users using groups and identity access management. But in this case, we probably don't have that. How do I see public CT logs? Certificate, what was this? Certificate transparency. These records are freely available. So what do I do? Use a web interface, crt.sh, and what from there? What do we have to do from there? We just enter the domain name. Oh yeah, that seems like it could be the way. Let's see if it loads though. It's not loading. Oh, it's like this. No information is available for this page. That sounds a bit sketchy. Yeah, I think we need an alternative because this isn't working no more. This one doesn't work. Oh, here it is. Okay. We enter a domain name. Certificate fingerprint. Let's do flaws.cloud then. Let's see. Not found on this server. Flaws. Flaws. It wasn't available there, the flaws.cloud. Well, now I'm searching deeper. Just flaws instead of flaws.cloud. See if that will work. Okay, I need to do this. %.flaws.cloud. But see, maybe instead of This is the cloud, but I don't think so. No, exactly. No, 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 no. What if it's flows dash cloud like that? Now, it wouldn't be like. In that case, it would be almost the other way around. It would be cloud flows like this. But there is no such bucket. What if it is flows cloud, like flows cloud? Yeah, well, what if it's flows.cloud.s3.amazon? But I don't think so. That wouldn't make sense to me. Not private. Wait. Hold up. We proceed. But then it says this. Let's go though. Ignore. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we did have to do the whole domain. We had to do flows.cloud. Okay. And here we have a bunch of, well, a bucket with a bunch of things. And that's, yeah, I mean, that's level 1 done because we managed to hint 1. Pretty sure that's all we had to do. Now we got this. We can just open it now. How do I download it now? Because I found it, right? This secret. Where do I even put the secret? Let's go back to flows. We don't need this anymore because we found what we needed. And I mean, we found this, which is the S3 flows.cloud. We've got 2 hints in the form of HTML. So maybe if I do flows.cloud slash this, we'll be able to see it, hopefully. Flows.cloud slash this. Yes, we did it. That's level 1 done. How long are we at? We're going to keep it there. That's going to be a nice little introduction to how S3 buckets work. They work quite similar to just a normal pathing. So there we had to go on this specific domain, .s3.amazonaws.com. But using that and the normal just domain, we managed to see all of the pathing there is to the web app, which is extremely useful because we can see things that they don't want us to see. We've got the source, the index file, we've got hints. And this is because it's completely public, so just make your buckets private. Yeah. Pretty cool cloud CTFs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. We'll probably do a similar one. I'm out.